So guys, some of you actually asked for this particular tutorial and I am done with it. I actually love the style myself. This beautiful short boo butterfly dress with ruffles at the edges. So please, if this is something you are interested in, don't forget to stick with me to the end of this particular video to see all you need about this. In the next video coming up, you are going to see how I went about the sewing. Now we are going to take our time and cut it here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell for more updates, okay? And now let's dive straight into the video proper. Let us learn how to sew this beautiful boo butterfly dress. Remember to check down the description to see my other tutorials, guys. All right, let's go. So now I have my fabric, as you can see the way I folded it down, and this is my brown paper. Please take note, while making a basket weave you need a brown paper. It's more stronger for such sewing than a white paper. That is a white pattern paper, so that's why I got a brown paper for this. So on my fabric I've been able to fold this like so. I'm going to take the measurement here. So this particular measurement is how wide I want my butterfly to be. I have about 31 inch here. Now this particular 31 inch, I'm going to be cutting this front and back, as in I'm going to be cutting the front and back in one piece like so. You can see how I folded it. I've already done the first initial folding, then I went ahead to fold it again. You can see how I folded it, so you can see how nice it's looking. I'm going to draft this, and when I'm through we'll be getting the front and the back from this exact one. Okay, so now the next thing I'll do now is I'm going to come down by 10 inch for my bust point. The bust point is very necessary. It's very essential. I'm not going to be getting any shoulder line or top line on this, but you can decide to get if you want. So now the next thing, first is my bust point measurement. Then the next thing I'll go ahead to do now is to get my waist. Remember, my previous video we're talking about cutting a butterfly. I told you about shaping the waist a little to give it some kind of fitting, and in case you want to add zipper to yours, then you definitely need to add your waistline. Okay, so but mine, I'm not going to be adding any zipper to it, but I still wanted to have some fitting on the waist side. From my waist, I'm going to come down by 8 inch for my hip line. That is the hip. The hip is very necessary, essential. So I'll just go ahead and connect it like this. Then the next thing I'm going to do after that is to go for my dress length. Okay, my dress length here, I'm using 39 inch. That is the full dress length. Okay, that is including with the ruffles and everything. I'm just going for the full dress length first of all before we will go ahead and trim out the one we use for ruffles. Okay, so 39 inch is the full dress length. Then I'll go ahead and just curve these parts like this. That is the neckline, and I'll move up by 2 inch or 2.5 above from my bust point. This is going to be where my basket will be. That is where my neckline is going to be starting from. That is my neck depth. Okay, if you start from the bust point, it might be too deep, so it might end up revealing my bust. So that is why I went up by 2.5 inch so that it can be above my bust. So now the next thing I'm doing, I'm just applying my measurement on this. Okay, so my measurements, guys, but wherever I applied it now, I'm still going to go ahead and reapply it later when I'm sewing it. So for now, this is still necessary, so I'm just applying it, and whatever I added on my measurement, I added like 1 inch extra as my allowance, the easing I add for this to give me free movement is like 1 inch. I added 1 inch to all the measurements. Okay, so that is what you do when you divide yours by 4. You go ahead and add your 1 inch to the division you have gotten. All right, so after I'm not doing that, the next thing I did now is I moved up from the actual dress length measurement by 7 inch upwards, so that I'll be able to trim out that part, so that I will have the other parts. That is, I will have the shorter part to add my ruffles. I hope you understand. So from the normal dress length measurement, let's say we got 39, I took out 7 inch from it. So after I did that, the next thing I did is to curve it like this. You can see the way I'm curving it from the center front all the way to the side to get that curve. If you take notes, this particular style has a curve. You can see how curved it's looking, okay, before you now attach the ruffles to the down part. So that is what I just did. Now I've gone ahead to curve it. So after I moved up by 7 inch from the actual dress measurement, I went ahead to curve it from that point inward. So the next thing I'm doing now is I'm cutting it out. I cut out my neck, and then I cut out the side. I opened this side by 2, guys. This is not difficult. So you go ahead and cut this side out too. Then after I finish, you can see the remaining parts we have. Now I'll go ahead and open it, and I have my front and back. So now I have my front and back. The rest of the measurement I'm going to be cutting out like that same exact 7 inch, or let's say 8 inch, that I'm going to be using as the ruffles to complete the remaining measurements. That is the remaining part I cut out. So I hope that is very clear, guys. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'll go ahead and I'll be getting my facing and basket line. So let's go. So the next thing I will do right now from this point is I'm going to determine where I want my basket to start from. That is the basket design, where I want it to start from. So from this point is okay. I'm just going to place my tape rule like this. Guys, you can gauge it, okay? You can decide wherever you want yours to start from. So I'm okay with this point I took here. So I got the measurements, and then all I did was I brought it down to this second line here. Then I went ahead to connect it just like this. Then after I connected it, the next thing I will do now is to cut it out. Okay, so you will notice that the neckline, that's my neckline I took out there. That is the 4 inch. The neckline, please take note, the neckline I did 4 inch depth and 1 inch, 4 inch wide and 1 inch depth. And there will be no shoulder slant on this. I'm not adding any shoulder slant to it. So I'm adding 1 inch above. This 1 inch above is for seam allowance. That is for the joining, okay? So this is actually necessary. I know why I'm doing this. So if you can go ahead and follow it just like this, it's going to save you a lot of stress and maybe any excesses, something confusing. So now I've gone ahead to cut it out, as you can see. Then after I cut it out, I have these pieces looking like this. I'm going to be using these particular pieces like this to get the basket on the pattern. Okay, I'm going to stitch this part, that is the shoulder line. I'm going to stitch it by just ½ inch. I'm going to be stitching them. Then I went ahead to cut my facing. As you can see, I cut out just a perfect facing for this. Guys, this is how the facing looks. Go ahead and cut your own facing like this. So the next thing I will do now, after I've done that, is I'm going to place my facing like this. Please, we are not sewing yet, okay, but this is necessary for a better explanation on the cutting. So you are going to see the need for all this when we start the sewing. So I'll place my facing right side facing right side. I'm going to sew it on the shoulder just ½ inch like that. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the blouse itself. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. So this is very, like, it is going to help make this work nice and come out neat. So I'm just going to do the same thing like this. So please take note, if you see, you will know that my own neck is as if I did a 4 corner cut. You can decide to make yours to be curvy, however creative you want yours to be. I'm okay with these 4 corner cuts. Okay, it's giving me what I want. I'm okay with it that way. So for my pattern paper, guys, I've opened it up now, and as you can see, the next thing I'll do is I'm going to present my fabric. This particular one I've already joined. After joining it, this is how it looks. So now you can go ahead and iron it so that it will be very neat and open up very flat. Then I'll go ahead and turn it to the front side just like this. Okay, so when I turn it to the front side just like this, I'm going to use this now and place it on the pattern and cut out and get my lines for the basket. Okay, remember, for the basket there is no joint, no too much seam allowances and all that. So that's why I had to take in that ½ inch on the shoulder. So now I'm going to fold this particular pattern to a minimal level that to accommodate this particular what I have above, like this one I have here. the fabric is going to accommodate it. And I'm just going to be adding like just let's say 1 inch on the sides for seam allowance, and below it I'll be adding like just say almost the same 1 inch, like 0.75. okay, so you can add 1 inch, or you can add half inch on the side. So just add some seam allowance is needed. Okay, so that is it. I'm going to go ahead now and pin this down. I'll pin it down properly, then I'll cut it out, guys. Please guys, just a little pause. As you're enjoying this particular video, please don't forget to like this particular video, give me a thumbs up, guys, and drop your comment. So many people want to see something like this, so when you like it and comment, some other person will equally see. And please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly do so. Okay, help me to grow. So from this particular point of my neckline that I've stitched, I'm going to be moving in by let's say almost 1 inch or 0.75. The reason I'm doing this is because the one I stitched, after measuring it, I noticed it will be too small. Remember that this is a rope, like sorry, this is a basket. It's more like how will I describe it? So I need, and I'm not going to be adding any buttonhole to the back, like no keyhole hook for the back. So it's going to be just like a normal sewing everything okay, without any keyhole or zipper. So I need the neck to have some width, some good amount of width. So that is what I'm doing. At least 8 inch is okay. 8-inch width will be okay for me, so that I'll be able to wear it from my head without complications. So that is why I'm adding this extra, that extra 1 inch I'm adding. Then I'm marking it. I'm marking it because I'm going to be rolling the lines down. I'm going to roll it down, okay, because from that point is where we are going to get our basket lines. So it's good to take accurate measurements so that you will not make mistake. If you make any mistake here, you might end up after everything you have to lose it back. So you have to be very conscious of that, guys. Okay, so now as you can see me, after marking everything, I'll go ahead and remove my pins, and I will use my ruler and join everything together. And so guys, you can see now I remove the fabric, and I'm just going to use my ruler, my pencil, and connect it like this. So now, like I said, the essence for this width, this a little bit wide neck, is to be able to sit properly on my neck, so that it will not be tight on me, or when I want to wear it, it will be difficult to wear. So it's okay like this. So now from this particular point here, I'm okay with what I have here. I'm placing my fabric to be sure to get the 1 inch I added. I'm just going to remove it out. Okay, this is allowance. So this is good to take this out, so that you will know what you added as excess, so that when you want to start joining it, if there is any issue, you will know what to trim out and what not to trim out. So it's better to remember to rule this particular whatever excess you added, or whatever seam allowance you added, rule it out, let it have its own line. So from there, I will go ahead and divide what I have left from these other sides here. So this is like 7 inch. So I wanted to use 2 inch at first, but I think it will be too small, so I'm okay with 3 inch. Okay, now it's okay like this. I use 3 inch. I'm okay with what I have like this. It's good and it's fine by me. So after that, for the slanted part, that is the vertical one or the horizontal one, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, I came down 4 inch on the front side. Okay, you can see the 4 inch, the way I'm marking it. I'm going to be ruling a vertical line, just straight line like that, to connect it. Okay, so please take note, I came down 4 inch. This part now I'm rolling now is serving as the front side, so I came down 4 inch. On the back side, you are going to be coming down by 1 inch. Please take note, you are going to come down by 1 inch on the back side to rule your straight line, a straight curving line. And from that particular point you rule the straight curving line, there is a straight line for the back neck. You will now take the rest measurement. If it is 2 you want to make it, or 1.5 or 3 you will now do your spacing. So you can see how I did mine. I added extra 1 line, okay, and I'm okay with it. So on this side, I'm going to equally divide it to have some loops, some designs on it. So I'm okay with it like this. And on the shoulder point, don't forget there's shoulder. I'm marking this side part to indicate that this is just the same. It's not the one. I'm not going to be joining it, like sewing any fabric to that part. So guys, we have about 3 lines here already like this. One is long straight crossing. That one is the one that divides, that is standing as my neck depth point. So now I'll go ahead and I will trace this out to reflect on the other side, but it's not a must. You can go ahead and turn the back and just come down by 1 inch, rule a straight line, and then go get creative, like create the extra lines you want for the back. But I'm just doing it like this to save myself time. So after I finish doing it, guys, you can see how it looks. I've gone ahead to rule it out. It's exactly the same thing on the front, but like I explained to you initially, I'm notching this particular shoulder point like this so that I will be sure of where my shoulder, this is your shoulder point, and we are going to be sewing a fabric to that part too. So don't forget, like I said on the back, you have to come down by 1 inch. After you come down by 1 inch, from that particular 1 inch, you will draw a straight line that will mark your back depth. Okay, so to give your clothes a good fitting. Don't make it 4 by 4. If you do 4 depth front, 4 depth back, you will make a very big mistake. So when you come down by 1 inch on the back, you will go ahead from that 1 inch line, then you can measure the remaining lines you want on your back. It's as simple as that. So you can see how I've gone ahead to cut out the pieces. I cut out these pieces by 2 inch. The width of these pieces is 2 inch. Then you can go ahead and cut it as long as you want, enough that will be okay to get your design, your basket on this. So now I'm going to show you how you will sew this on your basket, on your pattern. I will show you how to go about it. So this is the front of the fabric and this is the back. I'm just going to go ahead and fold the fabric in like this. You can go ahead and iron this while you do this folding. You can iron everything out first before you start sewing it. That will also make your work neat and fast. So once it's folded like this, you bring it and place on the line you have ruled and sew on top of it, just like that, straight down. Do it on all the lines. You can start by doing the horizontal one, then you add the slanted one on top. So however you want to do it, go ahead. Like I say, there is no keyhole on this particular design. There is no keyhole at the back. It's going to be carrying a normal back depth, that is 1 inch depth, and then the front, which is 4 inch depth. I believe that is well explained, guys. So you can see the facing. I've gone ahead to join the shoulders of the facing too. This joining is necessary, guys. It's really necessary. I hope you have enjoyed this video so far, guys. If you have done that, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you will see my next video coming up. Because if you don't do that, you will not get my next tutorial. And in that next tutorial, I'm going to wear this clothes and you're going to see how beautiful it looks on me, and we are going to finalize the sewing there. So that is why you need to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell for more updates. And don't forget to drop your like, give me a thumbs up, and drop your comment so that some other people can see this particular tutorial. So you can see how lovely this is already looking. We have not even started sewing. So the first thing I'm going to do on the sewing is to get my basket first. I will make the basket on the pattern. Then after I finish getting that ready, that is, I will get my loops, then I will attach it on the pattern. And after I'm done with that, the next thing I'll do is to prepare my ruffles, that is the pleats. You can see the fabric I cut is enough. I cut enough very long fabric that will be make sure to take the round measurement of this particular butterfly. So once you have the round measurement, it will be easier for you to know the kind of length you will cut for your pleats. Thank you so much, and see you in my next video.